Hello and welcome to ALR Bronze Season 3 Round 10 Brazil. We're at Interlagos tonight and is all the sound all good? Just checking.
Hello.
Yeah, all sounds all good. Yeah, so we're at Interlagos tonight. We've had a good couple races, gold and silver so far. Obviously, bronze following from an eventful race last week where we saw Theo doing an incredible drive on those softs, somehow managing to keep it in front of Dylan. And obviously Ginger Rage getting his first ever podium, which was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, kind of gutted I missed out on that
You
one.
missed that event. To be fair, even Theo's was impressive. Both of them were impressive. I'll just check who got P3 actually while we're launching. Shadow's obviously got P3. I'm not sure if he has got a podium other than that, but that was a big, good podium for Shadows as well. Dylan obviously just missing out for the first time in ages, it seems like, getting fourth. Meaty, Diashi, both having a good race. Reflection, Chappie, Roscoe, and then Farham all had in the top 10 points. It was a eventful but good race, I guess, to watch back. But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting race with perhaps Dylan winning the title tonight, based on if a few eventualities, based on some things happen. So I think he just needs to get a point today to secure the championship. But yeah, what do you think of tonight's race?
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting one. I think we've seen two pretty good races so far in silver and gold on the weekend and last night. It's a bit of a tricky track when it comes to tyres because I think obviously the medium to the soft or soft medium, whatever you want to do, is definitely the optimum strategy. But it's one of those ones where it's tricky. You can't really extend either of those stints too much. So safety cars and stuff could ruin or make those strategies to perfection. I mean, on Sunday we didn't have any safety cars, so it was just straightforward one stop. But obviously, I know
we had two in silver.
You had
two in silver. We might have an early one or a virtual safety car early.
Yeah, you had.
We definitely had one, obviously, that
and it
come prime time straight for the softs.
For the soft runners, yeah, but it ruined
it for the hard runners. You started on the hard and even medium runners. So yeah, it could be a tricky one with that, especially for me who isn't used to qualifying so high up. So I was already starting on used softs. The drop off was like really sudden when it got sort of lap even 8 for me. I just started to lose all pace. So I think it depends on the driver as well. For me, I'm usually quite good on my tyres. I think I probably should have gone onto the hards, but obviously the safety car would have affected that anyway. But you know, it's whatever you think's best for yourself. So the hard runners did say they had some good pace, but obviously you will be slower later on.
It's just the nature of the tarmac round here is it's really low grip. It's kind of like Australia in a way. I know Australia's a street circuit, so it's hard to compare it, but the deg's quite high and the grip's quite low, so it's really hard to manage the tyres around here compared to like a normal kind of I don't know, like a there's a lot of other tracks that aren't really like this. It's kind of a bit specific to its own. But yeah, I think quality's going to be really important today. I mean, it was really close in both silver and gold across the other two leagues so far. I think in gold, I think it was about 8 tenths. I think between first and P17 in Q1, it was ridiculous how close it was. So I'd be surprised if we see any. We might see a few go on the mediums in Q2, but it's definitely going to be quite close. Down the grid, I'm pretty sure of it. But yeah, Marvsky's going to be the first one to come out on track in the Renault. Obviously, we've now secured the Joint Constructors Championship, so well done to Renault on that. And yeah, obviously the Constructors isn't tied up in bronze yet, I don't think, is it? So it's still all to play for in both championships in a minute. But like you said, obviously Dylan, all he's really got to do tonight is score 1 point, and even if he doesn't score points, he's still got. Obviously next week to tie it up. He's got a really comfortable lead at the minute.
But yeah, sorry, talking of constructors, obviously Williams had a brilliant race last week in Mexico with, for the first time, Ginger Rage outperforming Dylan getting P2 and Dylan obviously getting P4. So they are ahead, looking pretty strong, I'd say, especially because Dylan is so consistent for Williams. So, but Hassar right there, Cryptic Alibi loves start from last and getting up into the points. So maybe you could do that again, but this isn't the first time Bronze have actually raced here this season. We have had a practice race earlier in the season, which is the first race for commentating for myself. We just got a car off track here. He's gone into the
that
wall.
was Lewis Williams. Oh
Oh,
no.
it's a glitch.
Yeah, I think he's having a bit of few internet problems. I think he was saying in the chat earlier on. So maybe I'll just not.
Yeah, that looked like he just jumped off track. But yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Booty Delight has invalidated his lap, and he's just left as well as Lewis Williams. So hopefully he gets back in the car and sorts out those little problems that he's got going on there.
Yeah, we've got 2 qualifying bans. I think Crystal Mays and Sir Dave so makes it easier to get through into Q2 for some people. So
yeah, it's only obviously the 18. Well, 3 other cars get knocked out, but only the 18 cars going for those 3 spots and trying to get into qualifying 2. But we've got quite a few reserves in tonight, so I think Lewis Williams is one of those. And,
he is, yeah.
Spud as well, I think, and Meaty as well.
Yeah, Meaty and there was quite a few.
Jamie Stu, is that another one? I think it is.
No, that's Jamie. He's always.
Oh, is he using a different account?
But it's a different account. But Spud, who raced in COBALT in Mexico last week, was very quick, and I think might have been a bit too quick for COBALT. Did pick up penalties. I don't think he managed to get into the top 3, but he definitely had the pace near the top. So it'd be interesting to see what you can do in Brazil in bronze. But obviously he's just put in a 109.3. Pretty sure that's just a comfortable lap for him. Chappie doing a 108.4.
That's a pretty decent first lap there for Chappie.
Decent lap, first lap, comfortable. I think they just sort of get in the feel of the track.
It's quite good in qualifying around here because it's such a short lap that the minimal fuel, if you do invalidate in the first couple of corners, which is really easy to do with that Senna S, you've got enough fuel and the tyres don't drop off too much by doing just the 1 or 2 flying laps. So it's only about just under a temp. So if you do make a small mistake, you've still got the fuel on board to go for another run without having to come into the pits. And obviously because it's a short lap as well, it's really easy. Sometimes it's probably even a better thing to do. You can go for 2 flying runs if you maybe put the fuel up a little bit, and then you should be easily through. Jamie's gone even quicker than Chappie's time. He's already into the 7s. He's done a 7.9, and I know you've just had the timings up of the practice race that we had. And
I'll just get up. This is Q3.
So Cryptic Alibi did a 6.9. So
he's saying he hasn't got the pace I've seen in the bronze chat. He says he's 7/10 off that. So whether we'll see that in quality.
Well, this was about 2 months or so ago now, wasn't it? About that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a lot of drivers quicker in that time. So I'd probably expect Dylan to be making it into the 6s. Obviously, unfortunately, Sammy's not here tonight. Oh, so those. Yeah, sorry, it's both racing points that I've got. So Swanshanks and Spud are both reserving, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, so
obviously we can we actually have information for the first time on these drivers because of some of them have set times in the practice race we have had earlier in the season, and I was kind of surprised actually seeing some of the times, especially from like even in Q3 for like Ginger Age, for example. 107.5 is actually like a decent time in silver for some people. I know in Q3 you needed to get as close as you could to that 106, and I think I just managed to get a 107 and managed to start 8th or 7th, I think. So, but yeah, so if some of these guys can get close to the 106s, just show how quick they are compared to the other leagues above.
Well, I think if you got into the 6s, you'd probably be that's like lower mid-table gold kind of pace in the 6s. So it's a really good. If anyone gets into that, I'd be quite surprised. I'm not sure what silver pole was, but I did a 6.2.
It was 106. 6, I think.
6 or 5, probably something about that.
I think, yeah.
So yeah, it just shows how the smaller things around this track are what really matters. So any mistake that you do make really costs you around here. So you really need to make every corner and every traction zone count, otherwise you will be out. As I think it was on Sunday we saw one of the reserves. I can't remember his name actually, completely blanked. But yeah, he definitely had the pace. I think he went even. Was it
Summer?
No, many things. Oh no, he's in it. Oh, I can't remember. But yeah, he is many things. Just as we're talking about him, but yeah, he goes just onto the grass there. He's gonna come across the line now as he's just starting a lap actually. So he was actually trying to get every inch of the track, but it's probably not the fastest way to go across it.
But yeah, speaking of the track, the Senna S can make and break your lap from the start of it. You have to set that perfect for the rest of your
Yeah,
lap.
it's a really important corner because obviously because it's such a short lap. I mean, that's actually quite a long straight coming down that hill. So obviously, if you do mess up that first center S, you lose all of that speed. As many things, there's a really nice Union Jack style helmet there. Obviously, I know we're in Brazil, but yeah, I rate the Union Jack kind of look. I'm guessing that's what you're going for anyway.
Yeah, and for me, the center S is slow and smooth, and get a good exit is safer and quicker. I think that's what I try to do anyway.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Diashi can do because we've he's what is he? Yeah, he's got a full-time seat now, hasn't he?
Now, so it's good to see him back.
Yeah, it's great to see him back in the car, obviously in the Renault as well. Obviously.
Oh, is that like a Brazil special helmet there as well from him?
Oh, as he goes quick, he's already into the 7.5. That's a really impressive time there from Diashi, straight off the blocks with straight into the sevens. That's really impressive there from him. So I'm sure he's probably still got a bit more time in that somewhere.
Also for me, if you're on your final run, especially here in Brazil, you can I go like straight to standard or even rich fuel mix straight out of the pits.
Just to burn that extra fuel
just
off.
to burn it because it's just added weight. So you can literally do that as you're coming out the pits. You have so much fuel on board. It's just added weight, so you can gain a lot of time through that as well. But yeah, just getting some of these people.
I remember his name, Danger Times. That's
Danger
who it
Times,
was. Yeah, he tried to make it through on the mediums, and obviously he didn't make it through. But he was still outside the top 10. I think he was a P11 or P12, and he was close towards the end just by doing the reverse strategy. Yeah, I mean it's something that if you are outside the top 10 you can seriously consider, because even with the traffic it is still a thing that is worth doing, to be honest. So keep an eye out for maybe some quicker guys just outside the top 10, maybe starting on those mediums, and obviously taking that advantage at the end of the race to try and make some positions up towards the end and upset a few people's races. But yeah, obviously here's the man leading the championship. He could wrap it all up today, so well, let's see what he can do in qualifying, and hopefully he can. Well, I'm sure he'll want to get it done, and we'd obviously like to see it go right down to the wire and make it really exciting into next week. But it doesn't look like it's going to be too hard for Dylan today, unless he seriously hasn't got the pace around this circuit. But as I say that, he's already into the 7.3, so
impressive time.
He's already two temps up on Diashi's time, and that's no slow time there from Diashi. So Dylan's already shown us why he is leading the championship and why he could be crowned the championship today, Dylan. So yeah, obviously the points are scored in the race, so anything can happen. But I wouldn't be surprised if we are crowning this man the champion at the end of the race. So yeah, hats off to Dylan. He's had an incredible season, and obviously he'll be pushing himself up to silver next season, as long as he's available to race in silver.
Sorry, just read out the comments. We also got a dry race and dry quali, so no rain so far in all three leagues.
It's quite surprising.
So that means a full wet race for COBALT tomorrow. So get your wet setups if you're watching.
But yeah, that is quite surprising, because obviously the amount of real life races around Brazil, obviously 2012 being the first one.
We had a car on track
as
there.
many things has invalidated his lap. I think that has just put him off a little bit there. But yeah, obviously I'm quite surprised we've not really seen any rain. Obviously, like I was just saying, 2012, one of my personal favourite. Is that Booty Delight that's just stopped there on track?
He might want to move because we'll get disqualified.
Yeah, he's alright now.
But yeah, speaking of that race, one of my favourite overtakes, I think underrated, not many people say it, is Sebastian Vettel on the outside in that long right-hander after the centre S. A long left-hander after the centre S.
That was Verstappen.
It wasn't Verstappen, it was Sebastian Vettel.
In the rain?
Yeah. I promise you.
It was.
I don't know if it's 2012, but he did it in the Red Bull car.
It was Max.
It wasn't.
I'll
prove you wrong.
It was
but
Vettel. No, it was Max on Nico Rosberg in 2016, I think.
Right, well, we've got to prove them wrong. So you carry on, I'll find it.
But yeah, so at the minute, obviously, Ginger Rage still in the pits, only 6 minutes to go. And Swanstrank is just down. He's out on track now. He hasn't validated this lap, so he's going to go for again, I presume. Lewis Williams still having a few technical gremlins there, but it's that him just coming out now, I think, actually. Spud on a lap, so hopefully he can get time on the board. And RDW, I think RDW could, as Cryptic Alibi is retired. Oh, he's retired in the pits. RDW has come straight back into the pits. I'm not quite sure why he has done that. He still needs to get time on the board. So hopefully we can see RDW actually put a time out, because he's we like RDW, obviously, don't we? And he's, when he can put a lap on the board. He is quite quick, but wow, Spud goes up to P2 in the Racing Point, sitting in for Sammy tonight. Sammy's obviously not sure why, but he's not available to race tonight. But Spud's doing a really good job putting that Racing Point up into P2, which is really, really amazing stuff there from Spud, showing us what he's got. And Roscoe goes up into P3 on 3-lap-old softs as well. Diashi's gone even faster. He's into the 7-1s. So these times are tumbling down, and we're already really close to the 6s, and we're not even into Q2 yet. So, I think these drivers obviously getting warmed up to the circuit relatively quickly.
Yeah, I think he's just seeing sort of like, I can go faster than you, because there's not really need. I think Diashi was already safe, but I think that's, if it's on the same tyres, just see if, just a bit of practice, I guess.
Yeah, it's just a matter of just getting yourself warmed up, really. Sometimes I go for a couple of, 1 or 2 runs in Q2, even if you make that small mistake on one run and you only improve it slightly. It's still, you just, to get in the groove of it, that's all qualifying is. You need to be at one with the car and know where you want to put it and let the car do its thing, type of thing. And Swanshank only goes to P15, so hopefully he's got some more fuel on board, because he hasn't got a whole lot of time to come back to the pits and put on another set of tyres. But Ginger Rage is still in the pits with only 4 minutes 15 seconds to go. He needs to get out and as I just said, I see his pink helmet there peeking at the end of the pit lane. So yeah, Ginger Rage, you need to get this lap in, and you're probably quite glad there isn't any safety cars in qualifying, because we all know what happened in that practice race, don't we? Yeah, so Diashi is obviously now retired. He's happy with his time. He's retired in the pits, and he's just going to get himself ready for qualifying 2. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a few of the others do that as well. But yeah, it's still all to play for. There's still three spots there that are up for grabs. Well, not up for grabs, but drivers are at risk. Currently, Ginger Rage, Lewis Williams and RD Wee, Crystal Mays and Sir Dave obviously already out with their qualifying bans. I didn't see what happened to them last week, but yeah, they were naughty boys.
Yeah, there's a few naughty drivers, but yeah, speaking of the test roll practice race we had earlier at the start of bronze season, yeah, Cryptic obviously was pole on 106. He said he's not as quick for some reason. Obviously.
Yeah, he's about 9 tenths off that time, almost a second.
Just seeing, obviously Crystal Mays, who's currently 16th, I think he's already out because it was a.
Sorry, I've got to read this comment out
penalty.
Because Welsh Maldonado, aka Becca Jones, has asked who starts for England, Reece James or Trent Alexander-Arnold, and purely because she is a Chelsea fan, I'm going to say Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Well, this isn't about football, so
I'm sorry.
I would say Trent if it's in a back 3, James if in a back 4. There you go. But yeah, I'm not talking about football, but
Dylan's going. Well, I don't know if he was going for another lap. Yeah, I think he was just starting another lap, and he's kind of messed up the first corner. He did have a car right behind him. Was that Shadows? And Shadows was obviously on a lap as well. So I don't know if those two they've got plenty of track. So I don't know if they just got tangled up a little bit, and obviously we're fighting for the same space. But hopefully no one blocked each other during that little fiasco there between them.
Yeah, I think who was that? Was that Shudder's just done a lap there, or someone just knocked Swanshanks into 16th? We've still got Ginger Rage and Lewis Williams still to set times.
Ginger Rage only goes 16th, but
he might have fuel.
Yeah, he does usually like to have the car filled up, and obviously even with the minimum around here, it's more than enough to get you around twice. So. It's got to make this lap count though, unless it's got more fuel on board to do a third run, but I would be surprised if that is the case. So he's only marginally up there in the first sector, so we're going to stay on board with him to see what he can do. Hopefully he can get himself out of this drop zone. But now coming up to the double right-hander, which is, I had an amazing battle on Sunday with Total P's, pretty much for the whole lap through this sector. You can easily go side by side. Throughout most of this part of the track, and obviously this is the corner where Lewis Hamilton famously went into the back of Albon and obviously cost him his first podium in Formula 1. Now he's gone into DTM, but yeah, he's up 3 tenths of a second is Ginger Rage, so that should push him up to about I think they'll push him all the way up to about P9. Yeah, so this is as long as he can nails this final sector, which is pretty much just a straight line, Ginger Rage should be more than comfortably through, yeah, P9, I called it. So Ginger Rage there out of the drop zone, which pushes Many Things, who has invalidated his lap, but he's still got time to go for another run. But he is on 3-lap-old tyres. Swanshank there, he's just starting his outlap now. Lewis Williams, unfortunately, I think he's got some technical problems, and he's not going to be able to make it out of qualifying 1. Dylan just coming back into the pits now.
I think it's just Swanshanks and Many Things, is it?
Oh, no, Dylan he only just marginally improved this lap, so I think that could be a sign that maybe Diashi's time could be a little bit out of reach for Dylan. So Diashi could be the pace setter today, but Ginger Rage there, obviously getting himself out of qualifying 1. At the cost of a few other drivers, but RDW did manage to get time on the board as well, and he's into P12, same with Chappie, P13, but Booty Delight there right on the cusp. As Many Things has made a mistake and he has invalidated, so that's going to be it. And for Swanshanks, they're both out of qualifying, so Booty Delight just about makes it through with the skin of his teeth, literally by about 0.5 of a second. So he's going to be quite happy with that, I think.
Yeah, Booty Delight's having quite a good season. Actually, better than I think he would have even thought, especially where is he in the standings? So yeah, he has got 3 points, but he's done actually really well in qualifying, showed some good pace.
Yeah, even though he does only have the 3 points, I'd probably put him up there with one of my drivers of the season, in all honesty, because he has had a lot of, I know he's not really at one with the game, and he's not especially, well, he's just not really got a lot of experience when it comes to the Formula 1 game, and league racing, and he's had a lot of...
He's improved throughout the season massively.
Yeah, by a lot, and I'm quite surprised that he's got 1 point in the
I think he definitely is most improved, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Those 3 points are for a lot of people as well.
Which also reminds me, as I've got to put a little bit of a plug in there for the Get the Drivers to remind you to go and vote for your season awards. Obviously, I think the voting ends next Thursday, I think, is it, or Wednesday, I think. But at some point next week, you need to have your votes in, and drivers of the season, overtakes of the season, all that jazz. Get it all voted. And I'm sure overtake of the season, in my opinion, is already done. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be that Theo overtaking Belgium. That was an awesome overtake in my opinion, so I think that's going to be... I'd be surprised if there's I know there's other overtakes of the season that are in there that are pretty decent, but Theo's, in my opinion, was outstanding, so I think... I'm not telling you to go vote for him, but I think it's fairly obvious, in my opinion. So Booty Delight just making it through into Q2 with Many Things, Swanshank, Crystal Maze, Sir Dave and Lewis Williams all not getting through into qualifying 2.
Yeah, so good qualifying. Obviously in Q2, where you see the strategies of what people are thinking about doing. Just might see some people risk it on the softs to get through into Q3. I think I kind of did that because I don't think I would have made it through. Unfortunately we're seeing Many Things, Swanshank, Crystal Mesa, Dave and Lewis Williams out of Q1 there. So a stellar lap from Diashi. That would probably put him in at least the top 3 or 4, I'd say, in Q3 that time. So he's definitely going to be up there if he can recreate that or even better it in the next 2 qualifying sessions.
Well, I mean, just looking at the times from P1 all the way down to P16, it's just covered by just under a second. I know it is a short lap, but that just shows how incredibly tight the whole grid is.
Definitely. Yeah.
It kind of shows how good Diashi's time is because he's about 2 tenths ahead of Dylan. But I'm pretty sure some of the guys towards the top end of the field have got some pace in their cars and within themselves. So we're going to start to see probably who's actually got the pace in this kind of session now. So I think the medium tyres have probably got about a 4 tenths deficit, I think, if I remember rightly, to the soft compound tyres. As we've seen, RDW already select the mediums, as has Ginger Rage. So they're already some of these drivers are already selecting the medium tyres, and obviously they're fairly comfortable. Maybe that they could be able to potentially make it through. Diashi probably being one of the ones that I'd probably say, and both Dylan maybe have the pace to make it through, but those softs are... As Spud almost did crash into the pit lane there. It is quite a difficult pit lane exit, this one. It's so long. I think other than
Abu Dhabi.
yeah, and I think there might be one other track. It could be the longest pit lane
Exit at least.
Well, not because the old pit lane entrance used to be even longer.
Maybe
than
Spa, Monaco, maybe.
Well, Monaco's one of the shortest. I'm pretty
you
sure.
You do go round. I mean, up to you cut the first corner.
Yeah, but it's not actually that long.
No,
to this.
but Spa definitely is worse. If you do the GT course where you cut a Rouge and Radion,
yeah, true.
You go up the top of that. It's probably one of the longest.
But yeah, it's one of the longest pit lanes from start to finish in Formula One. So it is one of the ones you probably have to do. Definitely go and practice. I know it sounds a bit silly, but you could. Well, obviously Spud almost got caught off guard and almost put it into the wall. Obviously that would ruin your first run, so you definitely want to be doing that. So yeah, we've got currently out on track. We've got Jamie Ginger Age still in the pits, but he has selected the medium tyres, and Marvsky and RDW. They're the ones that have selected the medium tyres at the moment. So then they're trying to see if they can get through. Dylan's just not even bothering with the mediums, but I think by the looks of it,
They could be scrubbed soft
yeah,
already.
I think they must be the ones from Q1 because his light's flashing, so he's probably just getting that banker lap in, and obviously just wants that. Has Theo's joined?
Yeah, where was he? Actually, was he out?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in the session, weirdly.
No, I'm pretty sure someone was reserving for him, but because he was in the Mercedes, I'm sure. I'll just confirm.
Yeah, obviously we've got. Maybe he got a bit confused. I'm not quite sure, but I don't think there's a car available yet. But he has left the session now, so unfortunately, Theo.
Yeah, so he hasn't been in the session so far. So I have no idea. Maybe Alex accidentally invited him, but no, he joined and just wants to spectate. I don't know. But yeah, Becca, I didn't find out because qualifying is so entertaining. I couldn't miss it. But I think I might be wrong, and it was Seb. But
I think that's why you didn't actually.
No, I just couldn't find it, but I'm 100% convinced it was that amazing...
was it a Red Bull round the outside of here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Max Verstappen on the outside, Nico Rosberg.
Like, if you would have said to me, like, how certain are you, I would have been 100%. Like, 'cause I remember at the race, obviously in 2012 where he came back, it's one of the...
Well, that was the same race that Verstappen almost put it in the wall and he had that snap and he just about managed to keep it out of the wall. It was the same race.
The problem is with Red Bull, all their cars look the same, so it's hard to differentiate.
Yeah,
if it was a Mercedes, you'd know what year or whatever, or Mercedes are kind of similar now anyway, but...
And Ferraris are always red.
Yeah, but Ferraris, you had, like, the white era, what I call it, is like they had white wings.
Yes, that is true. But Spuds put himself up into P1 and on 7.6 on soft tyres as well, so I think he's probably still got some pace in that time, because I think he definitely did go quicker than that in Q1. Then a 7.6 did Spud.
Yeah, he did a 7.4.
So yeah, maybe he's not got too much. Well, he's definitely got some time in that. So he's obviously deciding that he's just going to go for the softs, and maybe he might just see him retire. So he's comfortable starting on the soft tyres, which interesting to not see him even bother to try and go for a lap on the mediums. But Marvsky set an 85 on the mediums, which yeah, I don't think.
Don't read what Gurman just put in.
Can we get another yeehaw, Emerson?
No, this is not America. This is Brazil.
What's the Brazilian way of saying yeehaw? You're Brazilian, aren't you? You should do the translation.
You don't disrespect my native country like that.
But yeah, Ginger Rage on an out lap now. He's just about to start his lap on those medium tyres. Let's see what he can do in that Williams car. Kamara Racer, he selected the soft tyres. As Wilson said, he missed my voice last week. Well, it was my birthday, so I had to have one night off, I suppose.
You missed one of the best races.
I know, it's always the
well.
case. It's literally always the case that obviously the 1 week that I'm not here, we have a fantastic race. Do you guys just not like me or something? I think. But yeah, Kamara Racer now. It's actually just put yeehaw with the cowboy emoji. I'm never gonna let me live that down, am I? Yeah, so let's go back to actual Formula 1 now. So we've seen a few drivers put some laps on the boards. I don't think really any of them other than Spud. Spud is now come into the pits though, and he's just coming out on the medium tyres. So I'd be surprised if he can try and beat that time, as it's not a slow time, but he might be able to. Yeah, so I see if Spud has the pace to try and beat a soft run that wasn't too slow. I don't think, but yeah, well, it'll be quite interesting. Kamara Racer already goes up into P1 on a 7.3 on those soft tyres. Oh, as Dylan just said, rain to 10 to 15 minutes. So that's really going to spice up Q3.
So Jeff got it wrong, I guess, from Diashi's information, maybe?
Jeff does usually get it wrong.
He does, actually, yeah.
But Wilson just saying I hope he wishes that I had a good birthday. Yeah, it was very good, thank you. I got a pair of Williams Mechanics gloves. They're actually race worn by one of my mates, which is quite a cool present. Which, you can actually use as oven gloves as well, obviously, because they are heat proof.
You don't want to know what else he does with them, but anyway.
I don't know what you're on about. With that rain could really spice things up now, because 10 to 15 minutes obviously won't be in this session again unless Jeff does get it completely wrong. Then we might be able to see maybe a bit of rain at the end of this session, but it doesn't look like there are any clouds or anything that are coming in. So I think it's probably just Q3 that we're going to see some of that rain, as long as Dylan's information is correct. But yeah, Ginger Rage has put himself up to P5 on the medium tyres. 8 minutes to go left in the session, and yeah, we've seen a lot of drivers invalidating, to be honest. Especially in that first NRS. That's the main tricky part of the track, and a lot of drivers are choosing on that braking zone there to go onto the AstroTurf. You can gain quite a lot of time by doing it, but it does upset the car quite a little bit. I personally didn't really like to do it. I'd rather stick on the tarmac and comfortably make it through, and well, that's just personal kind of preference, really, I suppose. But you can gain time by doing it if you've got the confidence to do it. But Chappie here, just going through this NRS now, he gets quite a good exit there, actually, which slingshots him all the way down the straight. He's not opened up the well, it says he has opened up the DRS, but his DRS isn't actually open. Probably just a graphic glitch. So yeah, hopefully that Chappie's DRS did actually open, otherwise that's definitely going to slow him down quite a lot. So yeah, Meaty has invalidated his lap. Diashi's now out on the soft tyres. It's just the car just getting out of the way there, I think, isn't it? Yeah. But Ginger Rage is going for a second lap on the medium tyres, and he's not really got a lot of battery left. Obviously these are the tyres, if he does make it through, that he will be starting the race on, so you don't really want to do too many laps on them, especially if you are going to go for the mediums to soft kind of strategy, because well, we saw Jonathan Cox on Sunday. I think he did 17 laps, I think, obviously including the ones he did in quali, on those soft tyres, and he did get a puncture literally just coming up to the straight here. As Diashi's gone into the sixes now, we've already gone into the sixes. A 6.9 from Diashi, that's incredible pace there, on the soft tyres as well, so he's not messing about now. He's put on those soft tyres and really showing us what he can do. As Cryptic Alibi is in the pits as well, as Reflection, that is, just having to get out of the way of the racing point, the Alpha Tauri of Booty Delight, and Booty Delight's gone up into 5th position on an 8-1, so that's got him into Q3 at the minute, so this could be Booty Delight's first Q3.
I think he has had another Q3 if I'm not mistaken. Might have been Mexico actually, last race, but yeah, as it stands, I think Spud would be happy with that medium time. I think he might be safe with that time, but maybe do another one just to be safe, see if he can improve it. I think Ginger Rage will have to go on the softs, because you're going to think probably Dylan, Shadders, Roscoe have all got the pace to knock him out, I think. Especially if they do go on the softs.
Yeah, I at the minute I don't think any. I think the only guys that are probably actually completely safe is Diashi and Kamara. I think the rest of them are probably going to have to. Yes, Diashi's retired from the session, so he's happy with his time.
Could be if not too many people.
Well, by the looks of it, he's obviously got the medium tyres on now. I don't know if we have seen him come out and do a lap on those. As wow, Jamie goes up into P2. And
that's a very good time.
Yeah, 7.2 there from Jamie. He's been really good in qualifying over the course of the season. But he is all the way down in 14th. He's only scored the 25 points, and just in the race, he's just kind of not quite got the rub of the green, I don't think.
Yeah, I think he just got unlucky in the second half of the season. He had a good start, I think. Obviously, I think Monza was his best race. I think he
got a podium. I think
he got second place.
I think it was third.
Second or third, I think.
Second or third, yeah.
But he definitely got a podium. That was obviously his best race. So majority of his points can come. I can relate to that, Monza. So, hopefully he can have a good race.
Well, I think give it about a minute or two, I think we're going to see a whole flux of drivers come out of the pits on those soft compound tyres. Oh, RD Wee's put it in the wall, and he's got a bit of damage on the front end of that Red Bull there, so he's got to be careful. He's facing the wrong way. That's a McLaren there of Jamie just trying to get out of the way. But yeah, it's unfortunate for RD Wee. He was on the medium tyres as well, so He's going to come back into the pits, probably put on those soft tyres now, I reckon, and he's going to have to try and get into Q3 on the softs as opposed to the medium tyres, which he's probably not going to be too happy with, because by the looks of it, he's saved it to the last minute to kind of go for this lap on the mediums. He's weaving about a little bit. I don't think he's too happy with himself, but
RDW's showing some like top tier pace sometimes, but sometimes he
just lacks a little bit of consistency.
Yeah, if he's consistent with his pace, he's like top of bronze pace, I'd say, based on some of the races he's had and qualifyings he's had. Just having Dylan come round, surely improve his lap, or is he going to come into the pits?
He's harvesting his energy.
Yeah, he's coming to the pits.
He's going to come in.
I'm sure.
I think Dylan could be actually alright with that time.
I think
7.5.
I said, obviously, Spud's time, I don't know if he's just selected the softs now.
Well, if the softs are about 4 tenths difference, so if Dylan's in a 7.5, 7.9 and below.
You can select best lap on tyre.
Yeah.
So you can see what one they did set it on. So he did set it on those softs, Spud. I think.
Yeah, he has selected them. He did that time on the softs, but he's got the medium selected it
he did,
at the minute, I think. Well, yeah, he might have not now.
So Dylan looks like maybe the only medium runner like to start on, which obviously will hinder him at the start. But to be honest, like
it could be a bit touch and go though. He's already in P4.
Yeah.
And we have got a lot of drivers. I know Ginger Rage. That's probably there's a Chappie's just getting out of the way there. I think of someone. I know Ginger Rage. Yeah, he's put on those soft tyres now. He's got a lot more in the tank than that. I'm telling you that now. I wouldn't be surprised if he could probably even get it past Dylan, maybe into a 7.5, 7.4 maybe from Ginger Rage, I reckon. Marvsky as well. We're just about to see what he can do now on those softs. He's literally just about to come across the line now. Yeah, pushes Dylan all the way down. Well, not all the way down. Into P5. So Marvsky does a 7.4. He did say again he's not really done a lot of practice, but Marvsky's one of those guys that it doesn't take him long to get up to speed with the car and the circuit and the setup and everything. So I wouldn't be surprised in the race if he does get a whole heap of points, because he's a proper racer, is Marvsky. He's a really talented guy when it comes to the Formula 1 game, I think. So yeah, Cryptic Alibi, he's on the soft tyres now, so what's he going to do in that first split? Let's see if he's up on his time or not, or is he just going to come into the straight? Yeah, he's down by 1.5 actually. Yeah, I think Dylan could potentially maybe be alright, but it just depends on other drivers really, if they do have the pace to try and get ahead of him. But 5th isn't too bad of a place to be on those medium tyres. Obviously, I think he probably maybe wanted to be 1 or 2 places a little bit higher, but I think he's going to take the risk. Oh no, he isn't. He is on an outlap, but again, that's on his medium tyres. So, oh no, it's on softs because you chose me to change it to.
Yeah. Spuds just said he got a purple sector 1 on those mediums and then bottled it apparently, so he must have validated. So he has got the pace on those mediums, but
he's come back out on the softs.
I think everyone's going softs now. So
yeah, I think Dylan's not really got the track position to kind of abort that lap in case he is safe. So I think he is just going to have to go for it. I think otherwise he could potentially be out of qualifying too, and you don't really want. Well, I mean, it's not the end of the world actually around here because you can do the medium soft, but then it is quite hard to overtake here because you need that high downforce in that medium into the second sector. You need quite a high wing, but yeah. Let's stick on board with RDW. He's 23 seconds up on his time. That's a whole heap of time. So let's see what he can do with that Red Bull. I think Reflection's retired, so Reflection's going to be out actually. He's retired in the pits, but where can RDW get that Red Bull? He goes up to P3. This is exactly what I'm talking about with RDW.
Yeah.
He kind of just put out of nowhere once he gets that lap in, which is, well, Dylan's obviously out on the softs now, so I think Ginger Rage there as well. Up into P10, so he's right on the cusp of getting into Q3, and he hasn't validated this lap, so I know we usually have about a 20 or 30 second time desync, so hopefully he's got enough fuel, which I think he does because his light isn't flashing, to go and do another lap. He does have, he's actually done the 2 laps on those softs already. So he's down to P11 now. So
I don't think he'll even want to be.
Yeah, I think he's probably better off.
I think he's safer staying in 11th because there are 2 people behind him. So at the least he's going to finish 12th.
Well, Booty Delight's down on his time as well. So unless he has a stonking 3rd and final sector, which is literally just to climb up the hill, Cryptic Alibi is now retired in the pits.
Yeah, Ginger Age coming to the pits. I think it's smart to go and stay in 11th, go fresh mediums.
Yeah, Booty Delight's in as well. So those are the drivers that are out actually. So it's Ginger Age, Meaty, Booty Delight, and Shadows. So Dylan could actually. Yeah, so Dylan will be the only one to make it through, I believe, on the medium tyres. Yeah, so Dylan there through with the medium tyres, so he comfortably through, in fact, because the other drivers behind him just well, they just didn't have the pace and they couldn't get the lap together. But these guys as well, Spud, where's he going to put the racing point? He does go ahead of Dylan, but it's only on a 7.4. So the grid's starting to bunch up a little bit now. But Roscoe there, yeah, he's aborted his lap. He doesn't need to set a time. He just about managed to make it through. So yeah, that's the drivers out. Ginger Rage, well, it's obviously unfortunate not to make it through into Q3.
I think you'll be happy with that.
Yeah, P11's always actually a pretty good, decent place to start because you get those fresh choice of tyres for the race. As long as he doesn't crash into any safety cars in the actual race, then he should be alright. But yeah, Diashu going already into the sixes, about 2.5 attempts quicker than Jamie. I know Dylan obviously will probably be close to him in Q3, but we're going to have some rain, I think, by the sounds of it, unless it might get that one run in at the very beginning in those slippery kind of dry conditions.
Or maybe the opposite, maybe dry at the end.
Yeah, but it does already look like it's starting to cloud over. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure once this session does come to an end, we'll probably see a bit of rain. I wouldn't be too surprised. We always have a bit of rain. I feel like we haven't really seen a lot in most of ALR this season. Actually, I can't really remember the last time we
quite a bit in Silver and COBALT, actually. It seems to be the two leagues that get all the rain.
Well, I think the last... I can't even honestly... I think it was France, I think that was the last time we had some. Someone had just left the session there, was it? I don't remember who it... I don't know who that was.
We'll just see...
But yeah, sorry, that's Ginger Rage there in P11.
Jamie, who's just left the session.
Oh, he's joined again now, so it's right. Yeah, Ginger Rage in P11 getting knocked out of qualifying 2. And Meaty as well. Booty Delight in P13 is quite a respectable qualifying position there for Booty Delight. Shadow's there in P14, probably quite a bit disappointing, but he's opting to. We didn't even do a soft run, I don't think, or he didn't. If he did, he invalidated. But then Reflection there in P15. But Dylan being the only one to make it through on the medium tyres, so he's going to go for that reverse strategy. Hopefully, he doesn't get any unlucky kind of timed safety cars or anything. But yeah, so that all Dylan's obviously got to do in the race is get that 1 point, and he's going to be the season 2, is it, of bronze? It is, isn't it?
This is season 3.
Season 3, sorry, of bronze. So yeah, he'll be the season 3 bronze champion. Will Dylan at the minute, but yeah, he's still obviously got to get that point, or other things have got to happen in the race that we've got written down. Well, it is dry at the minute, but it does look like the heavens are about to open any second. So all of the drivers here, all these 10 of these guys are going to come out now, and I would be surprised if they've only got enough time for one run. So it's pretty much a one-shot qualifying. So it could be the first guy out, could have the best conditions on track, which currently is Cryptic Alibi. Obviously, it's not raining yet, but it does look like it's about to open any second now. Let's ride on board. It's not quite hit the halo or anything yet. That's when you can usually see it, but maybe they haven't actually. But the track temperature would have actually dropped quite a bit as well, so the track won't be as grippy, and the times probably won't be as quick as the other sessions. I don't think. I'm just going to sit with it. Yeah, so everyone's obviously on the softs. Yeah, so Cryptic Alibi could be. Well, it's not raining yet, but. I think they probably only have. You've usually got about enough time for 3 runs if you've got the tyres. But it's because it's obviously quite a short lap. So I've not seen any rain yet. But like Dylan said, it was 10 to 15 minutes in Q2. So maybe in about 5 minutes or so. So they probably just got enough time to do the out lap, the actual lap, and then the in lap. And then if they come into the pits, it'll probably start to rain. Oh, there it is. Actually, there is the rain. I've just seen the weather change there. So yeah, Cryptic Alibi will be the first one to cross the line. So all he's got to really do is set a good lap, and he has the best of these conditions. That Red Bull of RD Wee there, he's a lap behind everyone, so he's going to have the worst conditions out of everyone. So Cryptic Alibi is really going to be licking his lips now. It's his perfect time to get a pole position there for the Haas team. He's got the best conditions out of everyone, and it's only a little bit marginal, obviously, because obviously the other guys are only a little bit behind him, but that could make all the difference around a short circuit like Interlagos. And it's very much track that's used to these kind of dry, wet conditions, but he's gone a bit wide there coming into the horseshoe, and he's coming down the hill. It's going to be quite difficult now because obviously the car is just going to have to step out. You're not going to want to go on that AstroTurf because it's going to be super slippery, or on that curb, in fact, because the car could just get away from you. But he's now got a straight run down to the start-finish line, the timing line, opens up that DRS now. What can Cryptic Alibi do there in the car number 13, the unlucky number car 13? He does a 7.4, which isn't too bad because he probably
7.7.
7.7, sorry. Yashi's got a 7.6, only 10th ahead, so yeah, the
rain's
conditions
already affecting the cars.
Dylan goes on to a 7.2, so that's a really good time there from Dylan. Kamara Racer's gone up into P2, a 7.4. Spud's only gone into P5 on a 7.7. Chappie's only gone P6. Marvsky's put himself into P6 now. Chappie's pushed down to P7. So what can Jamie do? He's probably he's going to be really frustrated actually because he's obviously got. He's caught more of the rain than everyone else has. Roscoe's put him up to P7, so the times are already tumbling down. But where can Jamie put that? Well, yeah, he's probably then put at P9. I'd probably, yeah. Oh wow, that's a really good line from Jamie, all the way up into P5. So Dylan there. Well, I mean,
we could see B pole already. I think.
Yeah, I think that could already be pole position there from Dylan. Obviously, the championship leader. He could be the man to set to claim the championship already with one race to go. Obviously, it could still dry up, but with only 8 minutes to go, I think that could be it. Unless RDW somehow can magic some slipstream or something, which he's got here. Let's see where he can put that Red Bull. Yeah, P9, obviously the track condition is now obviously not optimum. Well, so that could be it. I'm not really sure if it is going to dry up or whatnot, but I think Yashi's going to be kind of kicking himself there. He was the second car to come across the line, but he's about 4 tenths off of Dylan's time there, so...
I think he'll still be happy with P3.
Yeah, he's obviously a good place to start the race, obviously being on the right-hand side of he's on the racing line, the more grippier side of the circuit as well. But it's really coming down now.
Very good from Kamara Racer, obviously, who was in the top 3 and around like promotional spots for the, I'd say even first half of the season, but it's fallen off a bit into 8th position. But because it's so tight on points, just a couple good races could really push you up the standings. So a good race for him, I think, is needed. So,
I think RDW might have put it in the wall actually. Yeah, I just saw his Red Bull. Their car disappeared. But everyone's retiring the sessions now, so
get an early race.
Yeah, we've got 7 minutes if everyone could retire. I mean, unless they've got information that it might dry up, but I don't think it will do that in 7 minutes.
Wetter, I think.
Unless someone fancies doing some wet drifting or something.
Yeah, just entertain us. But I think I'd rather have an early race, I think.
Yeah, so there's a really impressive lap times there. Dylan's actually been really impressive, actually.
Oh, that's a good time in the drive.
He was about the 5th or 6th car to cross the line, I think.
Yeah, and everyone else has been like, well, even Kamara Races was a really good time as well. But
I thought there would be one.
Yeah, but Dylan getting, I think, the most of the grip there that he could. I don't think he probably could have gone much quicker on those. Like, it's just a little.
Yeah,
bit
Jamie's obviously deciding to go on to the softs. I wouldn't be surprised if he does.
I think 5th. I don't think you're going to get better than that. Not now.
No, it's definitely too wet.
Yeah, you can already see him sliding out the pits here.
Yeah, it's just way too wet now. Yeah, if you get onto those curbs and put the power down, you're going to be sliding all over the place. Yeah, I mean, it's worth a shot, I suppose. I mean, I don't really know why you would, but you do you. I mean, you're really going to shred up your tyres, I suppose. Yeah, look, it's just way too slippery out there now.
I think Jamie might just come into the pits. He's maybe just wanted to test the traction. Maybe thought it could have been a bit.
It is sometimes quite hard to tell from the pits. I mean, our camera point of view usually doesn't really do it justice.
Like there, you can't really see the rain.
No, but
so, you know,
obviously then we go on board and it's definitely way too wet. But he has obviously he's put on his DRS, so I think he is going to go for a lap. Yeah, he's opened up the DRS now, which I'm quite surprised it's even enabled, to be honest. It probably won't be long until the FIA do disable it. Yeah, so he's coming through the centre S now, obviously with not much grip. Yeah, he's sliding that McLaren all over the place. He's definitely not going to be going quicker. He's really struggling for any kind of grip out there. Yeah, he's coming across through the first sector now. Yeah, he's 3 seconds down just in the first sector alone. So that would have put him all the way down to P10. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does not finish this lap. To be fair to him, I'm quite surprised he's not actually even spun it or crushed it, because I can't imagine that those soft tyres are very, very good in these kind of conditions. Can I retire? Yes, you can, Jamie.
Well, no, in the pits.
In the pits, not on track.
Not that anyone's going to come out anyway, but you have to retire in the pits.
Not on track.
No, not on track. Just come into the pits. Okay, or not.
Never mind.
Never mind. I think everyone's going to retire anyway, but yeah, just please retire in the pits if you can, because otherwise it could get in the way of other people.
It is what it is, Jamie. I mean, no one else is on track, so. If Marvsky and Roscoe could just retire, because I doubt any times are going to be better than any than that. And then we can get onto the race. Dylan, another pole position. I kind of don't know how many he's got now this season. He's definitely got quite a few. But it's a perfect place for him to start the race. Obviously, all he needed in that 1 point, and if the race stopped now, he wouldn't get 25. He'd only get half points. I think. They've actually got to do. I think they've got to do about 40% of the race to get half points, because it happened in Malaysia one year, 2009, and they only gifted half points because they didn't complete enough of the race. So this is another random fact.
They do have like monsoons in Malaysia and that, don't they? So
yeah, that's exactly what happened. They had to red flag the race, and it was just raining so much that they had to red flag it, and they didn't complete that much of the race. And I think Button won, and I think obviously because it was
Button's good in the wet though, isn't he? So
yeah, and they only got half points. I think it might have been maybe Barrichello. I don't know. Obviously a Brazilian driver.
Yeah. I wish we had a Brazilian driver in Formula 1.
Yeah, obviously the most recent one being Felipe Massa.
And Bruno Senna.
Yeah, obviously Bruno Senna really, really cut it, which...
obviously, I was so excited, obviously, when he came into Formula 1.
Yeah, it was just a shame. He's had a famous kind of incident here with Vettel, obviously in 2012, having that incident with him that could have cost Vettel his third World Championship. Yeah, that was his third.
But it ended up being one of the best...
Oh, I remember. Well,
like recoveries, don't mention it.
What?
Bird mention it. But best recovery,
what you mean
don't
when you
mention
said
it. No.
when you took off your top
and
jumped in the pool when Vettel crashed?
I was celebrating Vettel crashed. Yes, I did, but
and that come back to bite you, didn't it?
It did. Well, now I love him, so it doesn't matter.
And then obviously the other famous incident with Brazilian was Felipe Massa. On the last lap, obviously there was his dad and his family celebrating as if he'd won the championship.
Looking back, I wish he won that one.
Yeah, but
I wish he won.
No other moment gives me goosebumps. Is that Glock? Is that Glock going slowly? Yes, it is.
I know,
but
I would have loved to have seen.
I think you've got to put Massa in the question with like the likes of like Mark Webber,
Ricardo.
No, not Ricardo.
The ones that could have won a championship.
No, they're the best drivers to not win a championship.
That's what I mean.
I don't think Ricardo's up there with those kind of drivers. He could be, but he's not at the end of his career yet.
No, true.
But Massa and Webber are definitely two of the ones that come to mind straight away.
Bottas?
Well, it's a different era though. They were in eras of cars where
it was a lot less.
It was a lot closer, and they just got so unlucky year in, year out. Massa, obviously, with the incident that he had in Hungary with the spring, the rear suspension coil from the back of someone's car. I can't remember who it was back now. Do you actually go, is that Glock? Yeah, even he knows, well, obviously everyone
knows. He's German, so he probably wouldn't have wanted Senna. Hamilton to win it. Probably.
Well, but back then there wasn't the German driver going for the championship.
Was only a rookie, wasn't he?
He wasn't racing that season, actually.
Well, yeah, season after, wasn't it?
I think he made his debut in 2008 in Turkey, and he was the fastest driver to ever get a penalty, actually. He came out the pit lane in practice, and he got a speeding in the pit lane penalty. So the more you know.
Just shows how quick he is with speed in the pit lane. Yeah.
Or he didn't know how to press the speed limiter button.
Yeah, just random talk here. It would have been good if Marsky and Roscoe could have retired, but we're almost done now anyway, so...
Quite a few people have put some funny some gifs in the Discord trying to get their attention.
Just a lovely, calm, chilling rain. And
yeah, I think Mushroom's got it right. I think they might be asleep. Maybe they're having a bit of a nap before the race.
Maybe just go into
But yeah, Dylan obviously getting the pole position. It seems like so long ago now. Dylan securing the pole position, and he's on track for that championship. Is Dylan? He's just got to get that 1 point. Kamara racer there in P2. Diashi getting P3 might be a bit disappointed with that because he had the pace up. up into all the way into Q3. Jamie P5, this is a really good job there from Jamie, getting the best of the conditions. Spud there, 6th position for the racing point, decent job. Marski P7, Roscoe P8, Chappie P9, RDW P10. Well, Dylan is on the medium tyres though, so that's something that he's got to watch out for at the start of the race. Kamara Racer and Diashi are then going to get a bit of a jump on him with the more grippier tyres at the start of the race, so that's definitely something that they've got to watch. Well, Dylan's got to watch out for. Yeah, well, here we go into the race finally.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Start of the race into the Center S is always a bit dodgy, isn't it? So tight around there.
Yeah, you can just about get it to 3 wide, a bit of a push, but it does tighten up coming into that left-hander. And yeah, well, we saw that huge crash last night with Gordo and X Gamer coming down the main straight. It's such a tight little circuit. It's probably the closest thing to a street circuit without actually being a street circuit. It kind of gives you street circuit kind of vibes around here.
But there's, I think, a lot more better overtaking opportunities here. I know they say it's hard overtaking, but I think it's one of the.
I think there's actually plenty of opportunities.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's
through turn 1 and 2 you can do it. Turn 3 with a good exit. Turn 4 you can. Up the hill, turn 5, 6 you can kind of go for a lunge. In the middle sector, any kind of corners there.
Yeah.
As Lewis Williams has left the session.
This is one of my top 3 or top 5 tracks, I think. It's up there for me with Silverstone, Suzuka.
It feels like a long time since real Formula 1's raced here now. Obviously,
it's been that for a lot of tracks. Like, it's going to be 3 years for Canada. Because obviously we're not racing this year.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So it'll be next year, it'll be 3 years, I think. Because it was 2 years this year for Monaco. Which seems like ages.
So yeah, let's just run through the order. Dylan obviously securing pole position, being on those medium tyres, making it through into Q2 on the mediums. The only one to do that. Kamara Racer there behind him, getting P2, and Diashi following behind him P3. Cryptic Alibi there in P4, Jamie in P5, Spud in P6, Marvsky P7, Roscoe P8, Chappie P9, RDW in P10. Ginger Rage, the first of the fresh tyre runners, selecting the medium tyres, has Ginger Rage. Meaty and both Beauty Delight there in P12 and P13 have both put on the soft tyres, so then they go for aggressive first stint. Shadows and Reflection are going for the longer kind of strategy and going on the mediums, probably sticking on the softs towards the end, I'd imagine, or maybe if they don't feel comfortable going to the hards. Many things opted for the softs, so he's going to go for the aggression and try and make up some positions. Which I'm sure he's going to do because he's quite a quick guy as many things. Swan Shanks setting the hard tyres, which you don't really. I mean, they're not horrendous around here, but it's not the tyre you really want to be on too much. Crystal Maze, Sir Dave, and Lewis Williams, I don't think is in the car. He has left the session a few times on the medium tyres, but yeah. So Dylan, we could see. We could see Dylan lift the championship trophy. At the end of this race, and then all it comes down to is the constructors, which I don't think can be wrapped up today. I haven't been told about it, so I presume that our numbers man in Ginger Rage has got that bang on, as he usually does.
Ginger Rage actually started on the mediums. He always starts on the faster tyres to start with, so he's thinking about strategy for once.
Well, I think he probably saw the race on Sunday with Danger Times and saw how quick the reverse strategy was.
And now maybe he's got a podium, he's thinking more of a race winner maybe, or
well, he's got the mentality.
He's like, I might have to go for the race win now. That's what he could do.
Yeah, we're just seeing the last few cars there line up on the grid, and we're just set to go underway any second now. The revs are building, the lights are going, and we've got 5 lights.
There's a bit of a glitch there, but
I know the revs aren't building as Lewis Williams' car's gone, so he's not in the session. But the revs are building now. The revs are building. They're building. And away we go. Dylan's got a good start there, but I think Kamara Racer might have got a better one. He has. He's got alongside Dylan, and Dylan's dropped down into P2. And we've got a few cars going wide there, but Dylan obviously beat. There's one car. There's one of the Renaults there. I think that could have been Diashi. Diashi's dropped all the way down to P12. He's in an awful start there in the Renault. He's getting swamped now. He had to cut the first center S. But I think Cryptic Alibi's even got past Dylan now. Look, those soft tyres are so much more switched on compared to the mediums. So Dylan had he had a good getaway, but Kamara Racer did get him into turn 1.
Ginger Age has just lost 6 positions as well.
Hopefully he's not got damage there, has he? He is on those medium tyres, so no, he's just dropped down a few positions. So those soft sides. Oh, as we've just seen Booty Delight hit the rear end of that Ferrari with Crystal Maze. Has Booty there got damage on the end plate of the Alpha Tauri as Lewis Williams' car is just coming through? As Ginger Ray just left the session.
No, he's having internet problems again, I think.
Oh no, hopefully he can get back in that Williams car. He's still got a long way to go in this race. Let's go back towards the front of the field as Dylan's now lost another position to Jamie. Oh, and they go through
no!
Oh my god!
Oh,
I'm not
no.
sure what's happened there, but Dylan has definitely got Dylan's got no front wing. We've got a safety car, so that's disaster there for the championship leader. All he really had to do is just get that 1 point, but that's Spud is out of the Grand Prix, and Dylan as Dylan's got no front wing on the Williams, and I'm not quite sure as Jamie got damaged.
I think it was Dylan. Was that maybe Meaty as well? It was one of the McLarens, and then Dylan was side by side.
I think it was
Spud.
Jamie. Jamie was going for the double overtake, I think. And they just got caught up.
It was a sandwich, and yeah, it's never going to pay off.
Well, I mean, it's kind of lucky that there is a safety car because Dylan can now have a free pit stop, but he's going to have a lot of track position.
He's going to have to go on the hards now, I think. There's not much you can do.
Well, I mean, it's kind of ruined his strategy being on those medium tyres, actually.
He only needs 1 point to win the championship, so...
I think, yeah, the better thing he could do is probably put on those hard tyres, or maybe even another set of mediums, but you're better off switching the compound, really, because then you have kind of covered yourself off a little bit. Wow, that was a hefty impact, that was. Oh my god. So all kind of drama here at Interlagos. But Kamara Racer leads the way. He got an epic start there on those soft tyres. Cryptic Alibi also got a good start. Lewis Williams obviously not in his car, so technically he's not in P3, but the McLaren by maybe he did get damage on that McLaren as he is now in the pits.
Also, if no one behind Lewis can overtake him on the safety car as well, even if he is ghosting.
Oh no, it's just a strategical call there from me. He's put on the medium tyres, so he's obviously not going to get to the end of the race on those, but he's obviously putting on those mediums now because he wants to be on those softs towards the end. Obviously he has got the track position now, but he's obviously confident in himself that he is going to be able to get through the field, as Dylan has gone onto the hard tyres, so he's obviously going to go long now, probably put on the softs at the end. As Jamie just said, his teammate overtook me under the safety car. That's just something you've got to report potentially after the race, or
it's his teammate, but...
Well, at least Ginger Age is back in now. He is in P18. He's put back on the medium tyres. He's replaced that front wing. Obviously, he's now down towards the back end of the pack. As Spud has obviously left the session now.
Yeah,
it's a shame for Spud. He was having really good qualifying.
Why is Ginger Age coming to the pits?
He had no front wing.
Did he?
Oh no, I don't know actually. It might have just been his AI potentially pitting.
Doesn't look like AI. But...
Sir Dave is also in the pits there. So Lewis Williams shouldn't obviously be there, so let's just kind of ignore Lewis Williams' car because he's not actually in the session. So Jamie's up to P4 now, Marvsky's up to P5. See, this is what I mean about Marvsky, no practice he says, but he's already, he's there or thereabouts. He always picks off the pieces when they're there. He always goes around quite quietly, he doesn't really get involved in a lot of stuff. Sort of just does his own thing.
Yeah, Spud just said thanks for the chance anyway, guys. Obviously he had some good pace, but unfortunately...
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to see, maybe next week or at some point in any other reserve seat that you want to fill in. As Jamie saying, you can't overtake Lewis's car. Yeah, it's just because it's a ghost car, unfortunately. If you just stick behind it, it's not a lot you can do about it. You'll get a penalty if you do it. So, just stick away from overtaking any car. It might cost you a few seconds, but it is worth it to not get the penalty of doing it. We've seen quite a few drivers actually come into the pit. So Meaty, Roscoe and Reflection all came in and for the medium tyres. Dylan obviously had to come in to repair that front wing and put on the hards, and Ginger Age did come in as well and put on another set of medium tyres. Sir Dave, did he get a drive-through penalty maybe actually? Because he's on 2 lap old mediums. Maybe he jumped the start and we didn't see it, because I think I did see a penalty by his name. So is that him all the way back there? Yeah, he's quite far back from the rest of the pack, so he's going to obviously want to catch up quite quickly, because they're kind of just waiting for him to kind of get back up to the end, to the other guys. So we're just kind of waiting for Sir Dave to catch up to the pack, and then we can get going again. Quite a tricky safety car restart actually, because of it's such a long straight. You kind of can go for the Bottas in Magellan technique and maybe not go for it until quite late. Because obviously the slipstream is probably quite powerful down here. I don't know what obviously Kamara Racer's wings are, but let's say Cryptic Alibi's got a slipperier car. Obviously doesn't want him to have that slipstream for too long, and it is a very long old way. But you can either do that or go for the opposite and catch him off guard and go on to that. Just go for it on the last corner, well, the last proper corner anyway, the last acceleration zone. And kind of catch him off guard and get a bit of gap that way. There's a few guys there trying to get past Lewis Williams' car. I think Jamie has done it, and he has got a penalty.
Yeah, you did mention you're going to get a penalty.
Yeah, so
there's nothing you can do about that. You just have to stay behind it, even under.
Well, he will have to serve it as well because he will have to stop again. He's kind of just cost himself 5 seconds there, really. So we'll be back. I'm pretty sure the safety car will be coming in this lap.
It does call it quite late, so it hasn't in silver
anyway.
It's
because it does it through sectors, and Sector 3,
sure.
Sector 3 starts on the last proper corner.
Yeah, it usually tells you just as you're going around the end of Sector 2.
So they haven't really got a lot of time to deal with it, but they should all realise that obviously the pack's all nice and bunched up now, so everyone should know that everyone's looking like they're warming up their tyres now. They need to be in that optimum kind of grip. But Dylan is all the way down to P17, so he's got a lot of fighting. He's got 7 positions just to get back up to that point
We're talking about Sebastian Vettel in 2012. It's a bit like that.
Yeah, he did go all the way back down to the end of back of the pack. Obviously did get that exhaust damage. Obviously the game doesn't have that kind of simulation and technique. Yeah, safety car's in this lap. So what is Kamara Racer going to do? He's obviously going to bunch everyone up now quite nicely. He needs to wait for that safety car to come into the pits before.
Is it in this lap?
Yeah, it is in this lap. The lights have gone off, so it's just waiting for Kamara Racer now to go. And he's gone now. He decided to leave it late, but Jamie's already right on the rear end of Cryptic. I think he could go for a lunge potentially. Yeah, he's going for it. Is Jamie? He's gone up the inside of Cryptic Alibi. They're banging wheels a little bit there. It's not the cleanest, but he's just managed to keep the position. Has Cryptic Alibi. He was a little bit aggressive, but that's racing. As Jamie now gets back into the slipstream of Cryptic Alibi, and he has to sit behind the Haas and kind of accept his fate that he just couldn't quite get past him there. But he has now got a good run coming up the hill, but he's not quite anywhere near him to make a move, and I don't think we've really seen anyone else make any positions. But Dylan's already up into P15 actually, so he's making those hard tyres work. He's getting those moves done as early as he possibly can while everyone's bunched up. He will obviously get another position on Lewis Williams' Ghost, so he's up to P14 essentially, only 4 points off that point that he needs to become the Season 3 Bronze World Champion. P14 now, and he's not far off of it now, but he obviously wants to. He's
Oh, we got a McLaren spin. No, just lost the rear end.
Is that Meaty?
Yeah, I think Meaty's just lost the rear end there.
As Roscoe gets a 3-second penalty. There's so many cars to pay attention to, I'm not really sure what's going on. But Ginger Rage is now up to P15. So in Sir Davis just sitting back there. Reflections still in P17 now. As Crystal Maze has just gone up the inside of many things, but many things did just get back past, I believe. Many things, though Crystal Maze, hasn't really got a lot of battery left, but he's using it all to get past many things. Diashi's now going up the inside there of Shadows. Then they go back to Crystal Maze, and he does make the move up the inside of many things. He's now coming onto the back of RDW. Booty Delight just got overtaken by Roscoe, I believe, and now that's Dylan up into P13. Only 3 positions off that point that he needs at the end of the race. Still a long way to go, so anything can happen as Ginger Rage goes a little bit wide there. He was caught himself off guard. Yeah, as Dylan, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Dylan make a lunge round the outside. Is he going? No, surely he can't do that. Not on those hard. No, yeah, that would have been an amazing move if he could have got that done. But he's not wasted any time, even though those hards compared to Booty Delight's soft tyres, which are 6-lap hold now. But he's got the pace even on these hard tyres. He's siving through the field.
Roscoe's got Chappie, I think.
Yeah, Roscoe has got Chappie. You're right. So Roscoe's now up into P10. But Dylan is right on the back of Booty Delight now, and he has made the position now P12. 2 positions now off of P10, which is all he needs. as he Booty Delights gets a 3-second penalty there, and Kamara Racer has got a penalty as well as Jamie's got that 5-second penalty, doesn't he? So that could be quite costly, as Booty Delight is now dropping down the order. He's lost 2 positions there.
Oh!
And Ginger Rage.
No!
Ginger Rage has spun! Is that Dylan as well? And the 2 Williams drivers have come together!
I don't know if they've come together, but there was definitely contact with someone there.
I think it might have been. Dylan hasn't got any damage, but he's all the way down in P18 now, as Ginger Rage has got damage. Ginger Rage has got damage. So from P3, was it, to P2 last week, Ginger Rage, he's now got damage again. So he's having a shocking race, but Dylan, he's going to be so frustrated, but he's a fighter. He's not going to give up. A good thing he's on those hard tyres. He can still go long. Oh, my word. Oh. I don't know what quite happened. I think Ginger Rage might have missed his braking zone. I didn't quite catch it, I don't think. And I think he could have gone into the side of his teammate. Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. I'm just looking on the replay that I've got up, and I think that's exactly what happened. I think he missed his braking zone. And
he did.
Yeah, he went into the back of his teammate.
Ginger Rage was trying to get the move on Meaty, and I think just sort of sent it a bit too much, and ended up getting the back of Dylan there. So
the top 5 are only literally separated by about a few seconds, and then Shadows isn't even too far back, and RDWee's even not too far back. So Shadows is in a really good position on those medium tyres. He's sitting quite comfortably towards the end of this race. He's only about 2 seconds off these guys on the soft tyres. And if he sticks up with this pace, he could be licking his lips at the end of the race, and he could be going for the win, I reckon, if he didn't get any penalties. Yeah, so Chaddis could be the one to look out for, as RDWee he's got a lot of damage on that red bomb. Surprised he's not pitted for that. So that could be explaining his lack of pace at this minute. Choosing to stay out, which is quite surprising, because that is a lot of damage actually on that Red Bull. Roscoe's now up into P9, as we've kind of just seen the whole pack kind of stretch out a little bit now. There's not really a lot of overtaking going on. We've kind of had that all done. As I say, that Crystal Maze has made the move, as RDWee has obviously come into the pits actually, so never mind. He's obviously changing the front nose on that
Chappie,
Red Bull
I think,
car.
is right at the end of many things.
As Marvsky's just made a move on his teammate. I think that could be a little bit tactical actually. I think Yashi might be letting Marvsky through. Maybe he's not quite the pace of his teammate. As Reflection has just got past Booty Delight. Booty Delight in P13, he's not doing too bad of a job actually. He's kind of just keeping himself out the walls. But Dylan's already back up to P15, and the man just doesn't give up. He's only 5 positions off that point that he needs now, and he's only about 6 seconds-ish, I think, off it as well. So 26 laps to go in this race. There's still plenty of time to get that point that he needs. And RDWee, P18 now, he comes out, and Ginger Rage is put on the soft tyres, so he's going to have to stop again. So he's quite unlikely to come back from this unless there is another safety car. These top 3 are really tightly packed. Jimmy just a little bit off these front 2, but these 2 really, really close together. Cryptic Alibi is sitting right behind Kamara Racer. But Kamara Racer does have a lot more ERS and battery saved up, so it could be kind of what Gurman did to me on Sunday, kind of in reverse, where Kamara Racer could be choosing to save his battery and not fight the position too hard for Cryptic until he does make the move later on, and then he can fight back when Cryptic Alibi doesn't have a lot of battery left. Shadows gets another 3 seconds. Oh no, that's his first second.
Jamie also has that 5-second penalty to serve as well.
Yeah, so that's going to be Jamie kind of out of this fight unless there's another safety car and he doesn't lose a lot of track position. But yeah, Cryptic Alibi, has used up a lot of that battery compared to Kamara Racer now. So Kamara Racer's, I think he's just kind of sitting quite comfortably there in P1 and not pushing too much. Ginger Rage sets the fastest lap of the race. Marvsky and Yashi a little bit off these guys at the front, but they could be kind of dragging themselves along here with this kind of DRS kind of thing that they could have going on. Maybe it's a bit of teamwork going on, so because it doesn't look like Marvsky's using a lot of his battery and Yashi is using all of it. So yeah, there you go. Diashi's retaking 4th position on his teammate, and Marvsky's not fighting it too hard, so that's kind of a smart move there. Then maybe they could be doing a bit of leapfrog with each other. We've got a yellow flag there. I think that could be for RDWee. He's spun in sector 2, that is, just after the horseshoe. He's on those hard tyres as well. No safety car or anything like that, but that kind of maybe gives Ginger Rage something to aim for, even though we'll have to stop again. RDW might not have to. I think they could do about 26-ish laps. So he should just about manage to get away with not pitting again, but he's going to be really, really slow towards the end. What is happening on track there tonight? That is the question. Oh, as Chappie gets a bit squirrely there, coming into the horseshoe. He's right on the rear end there of many things though, so he's just that rear end does not seem planted. As he lost a lot of time there. I know he hasn't, it's just the camera angle was a bit rubbish. But Meaty's right on the rear end. That Alfa Romeo's rear end does not want to stick down whatsoever. It's cost him so much time because he's just not got the speed going up the hill. And Meaty's he's coming into the pits. I think those soft tyres for him are just done, which is quite surprising. Already on only lap 13, and he's already having to come into the pits. So I'm guessing he's going to have to put on those hard tyres, or unless he's going for the 2-stop. Let's see what Chappie is going to put on. He is opting for the medium tyres. So that's
2-stop them.
Well, that's what, 23 laps. They can't really. 21 and 22 is a push. 23, I don't know about that. Good luck to you, sir, trying to get those to the end. But Meaty's just got past many things as well. So Meaty is really kind of going through the pack now. He obviously did decide to pit under that safety car, so he's going to be more than comfortable to put those soft tyres on. Probably lap 21, 22 now, if he can ease that second stint for himself. By pitting under that safety car, and he's up to P9, so he's not too far off these guys either, with Shadows getting that penalty as well. Maybe Crystal Maze and Meaty are the ones to look out for towards the end of the race, because they're not too far off the leaders, and they will have the faster tyres towards the end of the race. But going back to the leader of Kamara Racer, he still can't get. It's so hard around here to get out of that DRS. The Cryptic Alibi hasn't got any battery left now, so if I was Kamara Racer, I'd probably whack open that battery and pump up those lap times and go full hammer time and get him out of that DRS. As Meaty just got past many things as well. Oh no, it's just because of the pit lane. Never mind. Diashi is in the pits on lap 14, and he's put on the hard tyres, so he's not feeling too comfortable pushing that stint to another 2 or so laps to be able to put on those medium tyres. But he will be able to push longer and harder on those hard tyres compared to the guys on the mediums. So that's kind of his way of going about this race. It's kind of in no man's land at the back there with RDW and Ginger Rage, which is quite unfortunate for those guys. But hopefully they're hoping for a safety car. I kind of hope that these guys start to fight and we get some nice, decent overtaking. But both of these Ferraris there, P6 and P7, whereabouts are Ferraris in the constructors? That's quite surprising that they're in P4, because usually most week in, week out, these two are always consistently in the points, but maybe they're not as far up the points as they would probably hope, because they're both relatively quick, but I think maybe in the race they'd probably just maybe get a few penalties and kind of drop off a little bit. But they're doing a decent job as Marvsky just gets overtaken by Shadows. So Shadows now, using those medium tyres, are obviously kind of gone past the pace of the soft tyres now. And Dylan's now P11, past Booty Delight, so Dylan's just not giving up. This is just why he is leading the championship. He just doesn't give up on any race or any opportunity that is there, and he just carries on going. He's already back up to P11 after his teammate Ginger Rage did go into the back of him and cause him to drop down back to the back of the grid again. So he hasn't really had any luck today so far, but he's still got a long old way to go to the end of this race, and he just needs that 1 point to become the world champion, as Chappie picks up a 3-second time penalty there. Oh, we need to take a breath now.
Yeah, so we've got a bit gaps to people. Obviously it can be a bit hard. Like, this is probably where a lot of people have used a lot of their ERS, so they're just sort of recovering and saving it ready for like another battle. Obviously a lot of the soft runners are going to come into the pits like you're seeing now.
Yeah, Kamara Racer coming in. Lap 16 is the perfect time to put on those medium tyres and go to the end of the Grand Prix. I think it is. Yeah, well, if he's coming 16, in, yeah, it's 16, isn't it? 22 laps he's got to do on those tyres now. Is it 18, isn't it?
No, it's 16.
No, it's 16, you're right, yeah. So that does push Dylan up into P10, but he obviously will have to make another pit stop. I don't think he will be able to get those hards to the end. But yeah, so that's Kamara Race P11. That's a really nice place. He's in a lot of free air as well that he can just pump up these lap times now. So he's going to get an undercut on Cryptic and Jamie, who are both still fighting. I think they're both going to have to come into the pits on this lap, I would imagine.
With Jamie having that 5-second time penalty, he's going to lose out.
Yeah, and that that's going to cost him essentially the position to Shadders on track if they both did pit now, just about. But Shadders is really closing in on him. He's pretty much brought him down by about half a second, this lap alone. But we are going to see Cryptic pit, and there's that Jamie comes in as well. So Jamie's going to have to serve this 5-second penalty, and he won't be able to get that removed because he has served it in the race and not under a safety car. I think that's right, isn't it? Yeah. Huh?
You won't be able to serve any ticket away anyway.
No. So there he is, obviously serving his penalty. Reflection coming in as well for the medium tyres. So where does that bring everybody out? So Marvsky has decided to go long and do an extra lap. I'm guessing that's probably because he actually came in earlier on, didn't he? So Marvsky's just deciding to stick it out for another lap to make himself a little bit more comfortable when it comes to these medium tyres, so he can comfortably get them to the end and maybe push on the mediums a little bit harder. As he's not being pressured too much either, so he's kind of getting pulled along maybe a little bit by Shadders, and that's maybe why he wanted to do it. But he's kind of in puncture territory now with these soft tyres, because he obviously did qualify on them as well. I'd be surprised if he does any more laps than this, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see him come in at the end of this one. Yes, so Many Things and Marvsky, the only two of the starting soft tyres that would have to, are going to pit on this lap, I'd imagine. But Crystal Maze is right. Oh, Marvsky's sent out for another lap as well. So he's really pushing these soft tyres quite long now. Maybe his tyre wear isn't as bad as everyone else's, but Many Things is in the pits now, so it's literally just Marvsky from the first stint on those soft tyres that has yet to pit.
Dylan's would obviously have to make another pit stop. He's already in 7th.
Yeah, I think he's going to pit probably around, he's done 14 laps, 16, probably about lap 22, I'd reckon, if I was him. That's probably about an optimal kind of position for the softs. Maybe you can push it a little bit longer because the hards won't die off that.
So could be a safety car. So
yeah, maybe just better off keeping it. Maybe just like 10 laps to the end or something, just do like a 10-lap sprint. But it depends on what he wants to do, I suppose. We'll just wait and see what the Williams team have a strategy ready for him.
Yeah.
As Serious Mush was saying, Marvsky puncture incoming, so I'm going to keep an eye on that.
True. He's about to come in on.
Yeah, he has got a puncture, I think, hasn't he?
No.
Is that just me seeing things?
No, he's got no puncture.
Oh, sorry, it must have been the heat wave.
Surely he has to come in.
Yeah, he's coming in now, so that was just a false alarm from me. I was seeing things. So Marvsky, to be fair to him, 17 lap on those softs, 18 essentially. Without a puncture is very impressive, I have to say.
I think the safety car might have helped him gain.
Yeah, obviously with a couple of laps under the safety car, I suppose. It's Kamara Racer and Cryptic Alibi come together. Oh my, those are the two net leaders of the race, and one of them definitely had damage on that car. I think it might be Cryptic. Yeah, he's got left end plate damage there. I think Kamara Racer got off scot-free, but Cryptic Alibi has got end plate damage on the Haas car. So I don't know if he tried to go a lunge down Kamara Racer on the inside. I'm not really too sure what did happen between the two of them, but Cryptic Alibi has definitely got a pit now. He could come in for the softs if he's got a fresh set and just about get him to the end, I suppose. Or he just could come in for another set of mediums if he's got them. But that's really unfortunate for Cryptic. That was pretty much P2 there for him on track. But Kamara Racer getting off a little bit kind of lightly from that, which he's probably quite happy about, because obviously I don't think he really did anything wrong from what I saw. It looked like Cryptic kind of... we've got a yellow flag there. What's the yellow flag for?
I think it's the racing point.
I think it might have been Jamie, actually. Maybe just coming a bit off track.
But Jamie obviously is going to be happy with that, because obviously might have thought he got a bit wrong with that penalty with the ghosting car. And now Cryptic's going to have to pit again.
Dylan gets a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, he's obviously pushing quite hard. He's maybe losing grip on these.
Marvsky's going up the inside. Oh, he just about keeps his nose out of that. Sir Dave's just sitting on the back of these two. Sir Dave's up to P12 actually. Kind of done this a little bit quietly without us realising. But yeah, he's up to P12. He's not far off points. But Marvsky does go and get the move done. Coming down. I think Ginger Age or Sean called this late descent the other day. I'm not quite sure if that is actually factually correct. I don't think there's really a lot of names for the corners around here, other than the Center S. But yeah, so that's Dylan now at P6 after he's had so many times he's been last at the end of this race, and he's just not giving up. He's got those hard tyres on, and he's just putting in the laps, and he's just kind of waiting, I think, towards the end.
A lot of them are in Portuguese.
Your first language, right?
Yeah.
Oh, obviously there's a
Descenda de Lago, maybe that's what he was on about.
Maybe.
Like late descent, Descenda.
So the medium tyre runners are now boxing. So Roscoe is in the pits. Same with Shadows. They put on those soft tyres now. So maybe we'll see Dylan coming in a few laps as well, I'd imagine, and put on the softs. Jamie is just coming out behind of Diashi. Jamie just comes out ahead of Shadows. Sorry, the pit there has been a bit confusing there. As Serious Mushrooms just said, no Pens Cryptic, keep going. Yeah, it's exactly what Dylan's done, that perfect example of that. He's been hit by his teammate, and he's got damage as well by no fault of his own, and he's up into P4, obviously still have to pit again.
Liam's just got on a 3-second time penalty.
Liam?
Jamie, sorry. I know I said Liam.
Well, Diashi's looking quite good in P6 without any penalties there. And obviously the top three are still yet to pit. Crystal Maze, I'm going to imagine, coming in now for the soft tyres. He's going to go to the end. Could potentially even get fastest lap, I'd imagine. He's put the car in neutral, it's not really what you want to do. Yeah, first gear is probably better. Meaty is just coming in just behind him as well. Meaty's having a hell of a race, actually. Reflection stays out and going for 1 or 2 more laps, I'd imagine. What is happening on track? Let's see where these guys come out. So obviously the pit lane does cut the first centre rest a little bit. So let's see where Crystal Maze does come out, because him and Meaty kind of are like the two now that we've kind of got to keep an eye on. Same with Shadows. I think they could be on for the top 3 if they can get through these guys quite quickly, because they will have a hell of a lot more pace than the medium tyres now, because they don't really drop off too much in the second stint of the race. But Dylan, he obviously does have that 3-second penalty, but P2 obviously just go along on those hards. If I was him, I'd probably box now for some softs, because I don't think you will get those to the end, and then do what the other soft tyres are trying to do, and just trying to fight through these guys quite quickly. He's still not coming into the pits, but Reflection is now pitting from the net lead of the race, and he's going to put on those hard. He's gone quite a lot longer, but then he did box under that safety car, didn't he? But Shadows now, look. Oh, is that Diashi just going around the outside there of Jamie? Wow, that's a hell of a move there from Diashi, considering he's on hard tyres, compared to fresher mediums as well. So that just shows that how comfortable Diashi is. He's moving the car to the inside line, which he's perfectly entitled to do with that one move that you're allowed. As Shadows now is just sitting behind these two.
Shadows on fresh softs as well.
As Jamie's going around the outside there of Diashi, that's a hell of a move up the hill. That's a really, really impressive move there from Jamie. That's not an easy place to overtake him. He's made that look, well, he's made it look easy, but it's definitely not.
Ginger Age just picked up a 5-second for speed in the pit lane.
Oh, it goes from bad to worse for Ginger Age, unfortunately, doesn't it? He's probably he's not far off being lapped as well, unfortunately. As Dylan is now in the lead. Obviously, they will have to stop again, but he is technically leading the race. Diashi just gets the front end, kind of washes away from it. As he goes quite wide. Shadows has just gone up the inside. I think he made. Is that a Red Bull of Sir Dave or Dardy Wee? Dardy Wee's had another offing, and he's starting to mow some grass, I think, for the Brazilian locals on the inside of the track. Meaty sets the fastest lap of the race, so RD Wee's setup maybe not optimal. Does that Booty Delight made a mistake there as well? Yeah, he's made a mistake in the same place that you did, I think, Ayrton, last night. Yeah. It's quite easily done there. So some of the drivers are starting to struggle a little bit now. As Dylan is still yet to pit on those hard tyres, so maybe he is trying to get into the end, but I don't think he's going to be able to do 32 laps on those hard tyres. I think most they can do is about 26. I think he really needs to come in any time soon now to make the most out of these soft tyres for the end of the race. Otherwise, he won't have enough laps to overtake some of the cars. But Shadows is looking really, really good now. Is that Ferrari?
Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo Camaro Racer is that?
Spun.
Yeah, he's spun just coming out of the horseshoe. Sorry, yeah, is he got? I don't think he's got any damage on that car.
You can reset to track if it's safe, but
he's dropped all the way down to P12 now. I don't know if that was a racing incident with someone else or it was just him just dropping it on the exit. As Sammy's saying Camaro to win.
Well, we just jinxed him.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to win anymore, unfortunately. Unless he has got damage as well, so he's have to pit. So much we just said, damn you, Sam. Yeah, so unfortunately that's Camaro Racer having to come in and make an extra pit stop now. As Chappie then moves ahead of his teammate. So Shadows is now up into P2, which would essentially be the net lead of the race once Dylan makes his pit stop, which I imagine he will do because I don't think he can get these tyres to the end. And if he does get into the end, I think Shadows will have the pace over him on these fresh soft tyres. Jamie's sitting quite comfortably in the rear end of the AlphaTauri as well. Diashi's not even too far behind either. Obviously he is on those hards though, so he's going to be looking towards the end of the race once the other guys' tyres start to dip a little bit, that he might be able to pick up a little bit of pace and maybe make a few moves towards the end. But yeah, 11 laps to go, and Dylan has now decided to come into the pits finally. So I think he's probably going to drop down to probably about P9, P10, which is all he needs to become the world champion. He's going to want to try and get as high as he possibly can. So he's got 10 laps left on these soft tyres. Yeah, he's P9 at the minute, and I think he's just, yeah, P10 he comes out in. As Swan Shank behind him is also coming into pits on a similar strategy as well. So yeah, Dylan is in championship winning position right now. All he's got to do is get it to the end of the race and he will be crowned Season 3 Bronze World Champion of ALR. Yeah, it's an incredible race from Dylan. He's been involved in 2 pretty significant incidents and he's still in the points. So he's stuck at it and he's not given up. And obviously I know he needed the 1 point, but right now he is getting exactly what he needs. Just like Sebastian Vettel did in 2012. So maybe this could be the start of a dominant era from Dylan and becoming on to be a 3-time world champion. Well, Seb became a 4-time world champion actually, didn't he? Just exactly like Vettel.
Calibi's got Chappie there.
Yeah, he's just got past him. Did he? Oh, it's Cryptic. Chappie's made a mistake.
Oh.
The Alfa Romeo's having a mare towards the end of this race, as I think he's got damage as well. I don't know whether those two come together or not. But that's another front wing for the Alfa Romeo team. So their bill for parts is going to start to climb quite a lot. So he's going to have to come in and change that front wing, I'd imagine. Wow, that's so... Yeah, 9 laps left, and Shadows is in the lead, but Jamie's... he's not... Shadows isn't walking away with it. Jamie's sticking right on the back of him. So have a look at the penalty situation. They've both got 3 seconds... and Diashi's only 2.5 behind, so Diashi is in the net lead of the race as it stands.
Diashi is on those hards though, but
yeah, but these guys are going to probably fight, I imagine, a little bit. So I reckon that
I think Jamie's in the best position. He's on the tyres that maybe can go the distance that will be quick at the end in those softs.
Neither of them have got any have used all their battery though, so. Obviously, Jamie will have the DRS over Shadows, but yeah, I think it could be a matter of Shadows has gone a little bit wide into turn 1, and Jamie's got a really good exit coming out of the centre S. He's alongside him now. Neither of them have got any battery left, but Jamie's got the advantage of the DRS. He's alongside the AlphaTauri car. He makes the move stick going down into Shadows tries to keep his nose in, but he just can't quite do it. But Jamie takes the lead with 8 laps to go left in the race, and with the penalty situation as well, he is technically leading, but Diashi is just about within the 3 seconds that he needs to win the race. So he could just be sitting quite comfortably there, letting these guys fight for the win, while he just stays within that 3 seconds, and he could not get any penalties, and Diashi would win the race, which I think he'd be really happy with, considering he had a relatively disappointing qualifying
and disappointing race in Mexico, I think.
Yeah. So we could see Diashi sitting on the top step of the podium, but Shadows is just going to come straight back at Jamie. Jamie moves defensively towards the inside, but he can't quite get it done. He parks his car right on the curb, which is exactly what you need to do. It's great defending there from Jamie, but Shadows is still there. He does have the DRS now, but I don't think he's got the overspeed to make the move coming down into this part of the circuit. But I think we're going to see a bit of a fight now between the end. So towards the end of the end of the race from these two, they're putting on a really good show, keeping it nice and clean is exactly what we love to see. As Reflection now gets past many things coming down the second straight. Cryptic Alibi picks up a 3-second time penalty. Dylan's still in P10 there on the back of this 4-car pack. But he is on those softs now, and Roscoe Ahead is on 7 medium tyres, but he's trying to make a move on many things. Can't quite get it done, but he's still trying to get it around the outside as they come together, and Dylan just takes up 2 positions, which is perfect for him, so he's now further up into the points, but these guys had a bit of wheel banging, and both of them kind of didn't really have a lot of control over their cars and cost themselves both a position. I think there was quite a forceful move there from Roscoe, but then many things didn't leave him a hell of a lot of room, but I think they're probably a bit of a racing incident because they didn't leave each other much room between them. But Dylan, that's exactly what you do in that kind of situation. You let the 2 guys fight ahead of you, and then you just pick off the pieces once they do make that mistake, which is exactly what they've done. Roscoe's retired from the session. He's retired in the pits, so he's really unhappy with that kind of move. But, sorry, excuse me. Jamie retakes the lead of the race. So these guys are carrying on fighting for the.
Which is good for
the
Diashi because he's just sitting here waiting.
Yeah,
but Crystal Maze and Meaty are catching behind on the soft tyres.
And we have got a yellow flag. I think that could be for RDW again. Is it? Or is it Sir Dave? I'm not quite sure. Ginger Rage does pick up a position. He's up to P15 again, so fair play to Ginger Rage. He's not given up and he's not retired in the pits or anything. He stuck out even though he has crashed into his teammate, and yeah, he had a bit of a mare race, obviously disconnecting and everything. RDW has now come into the pits. He's put on the soft tyres, so RDW could potentially take away the point from whoever holds the fastest lap at the minute. Oh, he's put on the medium tyres. He won't get it himself, though, obviously. No, he won't obviously get the point. We could take it away from another driver. So Jamie is in the lead of the race with 5 laps to go. There is a yellow flag there, but it's gone now, thankfully. Dylan gets past Reflection going down to turn 1. So Dylan already back up to P7. So where can Dylan get to? Meaty gets past Diashi, so that's not good for Diashi's race, well, unless he sits in the DRS of these guys ahead of him now. He isn't within that 3 seconds that he needs, but, well, the other crucially, Crystal Maze and Meaty both don't have penalties either, and they could quite comfortably close in on these guys ahead of him because they're on soft tyres as well, similar age to Shadders.
I think Crystal Maze, if he catches up, he's favoured for the win at the minute. But yeah, so Crystal Maze is going to, I think, catch him. He shows a real pace on these soft tyres. While Jamie and Shadows are battling, they're just slowing each other down, essentially. Both on penalties. Obviously, Meaty's having a fantastic race, reserving. Also, pretty much done the exact same as Crystal Maze. No penalties, so I think both of them are going to be up for a podium, which, to be honest, might be just Jamie and Shadows if they actually can't keep up on who can basically get third between them.
Sammy's just asked for the penalty situation. So the top 2 have both got 3-second time penalties. And then Crystal Maze, Meaty and Diashi both have 0 penalties. They're not too far off of the guys ahead. And then Marsky and Dylan both only have 3 seconds, but Reflection hasn't got any penalties as well. So Marsky and Dylan both want to kind of breach a little bit of a gap to those guys, as many things just picks up another penalty. So he's got 6, Cryptic Alibi's only got 3, Swanshank's got 9, Sir David and Kamara both got 6, Boot Delight's got 12, so that's going to really cost him. RDW's got 15. So yeah, those are the penalty situation there. RDW just picks up another one, in fact.
Yeah, we're getting a few penalties here later on in the race.
Let's have a look at the gap to leader. So Diashi's about 5 seconds off now, so those hard tyres I think have probably started to hit a little bit of a cliff, and he's started to drop off a little bit because obviously the soft compound guys ahead of him. So that could be the win taken away from Diashi there. So maybe he's probably looking at P5, I'd imagine, because I don't think he's within the penalty situation of the guys ahead. But Jamie just drops down, and Shadows makes the move past and up back into P1. But now the guys behind him are really closing in on him now, and they're within that 3 seconds that they need to jump ahead of these guys. So I think that as Jamie retakes the lead now. So these guys are really battling tooth and nail. Shadows tries to make another move back up the inside, up the hill, as Jamie just about leaves him enough room there. It's just like a David versus Goliath kind of battle now. They're both racing.
Don't want to see these
hard.
two come together and force each other off. Be ruin this battle now.
No, but they are kind of costing themselves essentially 2 positions.
Looks like
here.
Jamie's just losing grip here.
Yeah, well, he's done 15 laps now, and those medium tyres won't feel too nice towards.
Shadows has almost done the same on those softs, so Jamie might have a little bit more pace on these tyres just to maybe secure P3 here.
Got a yellow flag there for a Red Bull. Is that Sir Dave or is it the RDW? It's RDW once again mowing the grass. He's got wing damage again on the Red Bull. I think he's trying to do a bit of WRC.
Yeah, I don't think he likes Brazil, unfortunately. But unlucky today.
But Jamie keeps the lead of the Grand Prix going down. But Shadows will now have the DRS again coming down to the start of to the end of the first sector. RDW is retired, unfortunately, from the race. Booty Dillap picks up another 3-second time penalty. But they're both just lacking on the battery. That's what's really making it really difficult for either of these guys to kind of break away. But
Shadows went wide. They almost got a penalty.
He would have definitely got a warning for that. I definitely would have got a warning for that. So hopefully he won't get another penalty, because that would definitely take him out of the fight for the fight between him and Jamie anyway. Could have potentially even got another one there for cutting that curb. Oh, sorry, I'm really out of breath because this is just mesmerising stuff. These guys are really closing in now. They're almost within the DRS of these guys, and they've got a lot more battery compared to the guys ahead in first and second.
So Dave's got Dylan's catching up on Marsky to get P5 actually, P6 sorry, which is incredible for himself to come back after making all these positions.
Well, he was last twice, was Dylan. He's currently he's more than on track to become the bronze season 3 world champion. So it's amazing stuff there from Dylan. Fighting spirit to not give up, and I think Williams would really love that in real life. That's exactly what Williams driver would do. Is he's just looking up the inside of Marsky, and he does make the move up the inside on those soft tyres.
Brilliant move.
Yeah, it's a really good move there. More grip on those softs compared to Marsky's medium tyres, and he makes the move stick. But Marsky's not going to let him have it go easily, and he's fighting back now, coming down to the end of sector 1, and he retakes 6th position on Dylan. But Dylan now still has the pace on these tyres, and he's trying to go round the outside, up the hill. Can he get it done? He's going for the lunge, and he's done it. Wow, what a move there from Dylan. Wow, that's a really great move. He goes round the outside of the Ashley with the Ashley of Marsky. So now Dylan can now try and there's only about a lap to go, but he's got about 5 seconds.
Shadows is losing pace on Jamie. I think his tyres are losing.
Yeah, he's about 8 tenths behind now, but I think both of these guys will obviously drop back anyway behind the Meaty and Crystal Maze. But really, Shadows needs to get ahead of Jamie, so he only loses the one less position. As Ginger H has picked up another 3-second time penalty, but Meaty gets past Crystal Maze, and Meaty's in the wall. That's Meaty out of the race.
No!
That's
I don't know what happened there.
He made a lunge down the inside, and I think him and Crystal Maze just come together. But that was a podium there for Meaty, taken away from him, unfortunately. So that Meaty's going to be devastated with only 1 lap to go. Well, it was the final lap of the race actually now, and he's out. That would have been P2.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to go for that race win on the last lap.
Yeah,
but it cost him there. He would have got a podium. Probably, I think his first podium in bronze.
So Jamie is obviously he's the leader of the race, but with penalty situation, Crystal Maze is technically gonna win the race, I think. But Jamie's obviously with that 5-second penalty and everything he had, it could have been a completely different race. In fact, he could have been 5 seconds further up the road, which would have I think he would have just about been able to win the race. But Jamie will come across the line in first position. I don't think he will get the race win though. Crystal Maze is going to get that. I think. No, Jamie does win by 3 thousandths of a second. So Crystal Maze was just out of it. So Jamie wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Wow, that's amazing. That's such a small margin to win the race by. Wow, that's really good there.
Crystal Maze might have let off the pedal a bit.
Yeah,
there.
he maybe just gone a bit easy, but Crystal Maze only gets second. Shadows gets third. Wow, Diashi does 22 laps there on those hards to secure fourth. But Dylan, I'm sorry I missed it on the line, but Dylan is the bronze world champion after securing P5. So that's the championship, the drivers' championship, all wrapped up. Dylan is the champion of this season. So amazing stuff there by Dylan. Wow, 3,000 per second between the top two. That's crazy how close that is. Wow.
We tried to get obviously Jamie, Crystal, Maze, and Shadows in the podium party if they want to join.
But then we've obviously definitely got to get Dylan in there as well.
Yeah, I think it's worth getting Dylan in maybe as well. And obviously, Dylan now is going to be. He might not give him driver of the day, but I think he definitely deserves it.
Yeah, for sure. He was last twice. And,
yeah, Crystal Maze obviously had a fantastic race, but just the amount of like obstacles that Dylan's had to come up against. But yeah, Dylan's going to be in silver for next season. Obviously, new game. Can't really compare it to this. We don't know if it's similar at all. But I'm sure he'll be quick enough to get some good points in silver. But yeah, as I know, silver is very challenging and like a very quick and very tough championship. So yeah, hopefully wish him the best.
So Jamie wins the race by 0.003 of a second with Crystal Maze, where I thought he had the from P18 actually. I didn't even realise, but to P2, that's an amazing drive there from Crystal Maze. He does secure that P2 and just marginally missing out on the race win. Shadows then not getting any penalties in P3. Diashi picking up P4. Dylan getting the point that he needed to become the bronze Season 3 world champion. And Marsky there behind him in P6. Reflection P7. Many Things P8. Cryptic Alibi P9. Swanshank picking up the final point there in P10. Kamara Racer getting a bit unlucky, P11. Sir Dave getting P12. Solid race from Dave. Chappie P13. Ginger Rage having a bit of a messy one, P14, Booty Delight P15 with a lot of penalties, Meaty P16, obviously crashing on the second to last, the very last lap actually. Lewis Williams obviously not actually taking part in the race. RDW and Roscoe Spud all retired from the race.
Yeah, so I think we'll obviously we just got Jamie and Dylan in at the moment, so we'll just talk to Jamie first. Obviously, fantastic win. And yeah, just win it by 0.003 of a second, incredible. If you just want to talk us through your race.
I think I'll just put the setting on there if you can hear me in the stream.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, so just talk us through your race. Obviously, your first win, you got a podium in Monza, which is the majority of your points so far. But yeah, just amazing win, like especially that battle at the end with Shadows.
Yeah, lap 16, when I went on to the fresh mediums, I came out next to Diashi, and I don't think I've ever had a better battle than that. It was like we went side by side on the main straight, and then up through the hill we were side by side, and then just at the end I got him. I wasn't expecting to win it because me and Shatters were battling, but then Shadow, however you say his name, stopped battling, and then I was just able to push and 3,000 to win the race.
Yeah, I think Shadows lost a bit of pace at the end on those soft tyres where your mediums lasted, so that was a better strategy for yourself. But yeah, obviously, you've already got a podium, but now it's a race win, and hopefully you can build on this next season.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I'll just see. Obviously, you're pretty much mid-table, but obviously, you're definitely improving, and coming into the last race next week, and then obviously next season. Obviously, I think you should definitely be up there. But yeah, obviously, congratulations on your first race win, fully deserved. And now we're obviously, I don't think the other two are going to be joining us. So now we'll talk to Season 3 bronze champion. It's not bad after a pretty mental race for yourself, having to come back from a lot. Still managed to do it. So.
It was carnage from the start. It had to be said. They got taken out not even once but twice, but still even put out top 5 finish is just mental.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. Obviously, unfortunately, one of those people that took you out was your teammate. Mistakes were made.
Yeah.
But But yeah, so obviously, you're the season 3 bronze champion. Obviously, by quite a long time, you've been so consistent over the season. Yeah, just like, obviously, how do you think your season's been? Obviously, with one race left.
Pretty much awesome. To be honest, like what do you call it? Consistency, like all the way. To quite frankly, even though I have today's mentality, like took over, and when it came on to the softs, I felt like had to keep going. No, don't stop, just keep going.
Yeah, that was definitely a champion's drive there, I've got to say. Like, just from the two incidents that you had, obviously losing your front wing and then getting hit by your teammate, then luckily not getting any damage. It kind of did, and I know I did touch upon it in the race, but it did kind of feel kind of like that Sebastian Vettel kind of 2012 race where, he was just had all the bad luck, but you just don't give up. You kind of just latch on to what you can, and obviously you went for those soft tyres at the end and you actually managed to salvage quite a lot of points out of it. So yeah, that's exactly what you need to do in that kind of situation, and you just showed us really why you deserve to be at the top and be the champion.
Yeah, thank you. They had to take out one by one. Just no chance of take them out like simultaneously. You just had to take out one by one.
Yeah, it's difficult track for overtakes as well.
Well, did definitely get the champagne out, I reckon, and then you can enjoy next week with no pressure. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning.
But sorry before, obviously you're going to be in silver next season, and I can tell you like how difficult and tight that is. So how do you think you're going to? Obviously, it's a new game as well, so you don't know exactly how you're going to fare on it. But I think you've definitely got the pace to, like maybe even challenge in silver. So are you looking forward to that?
I'm pretty much looking forward to it. I can't wait to get a challenge to begin, to be quite frankly.
Yeah, there's a lot of fast drivers in there, so I wish you luck. I might still be racing with you in silver. It's going to go down to the last race, but yeah. So congratulations to Dylan and Jamie. One on the championship, one on winning the race, and yeah. So we'll see you all next week in Abu Dhabi for the last race. Yeah, so see you next week. Goodbye.